Tribal Combat on Monday. Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa. We're talking a lot about Roman Reigns. I actually enjoyed this match. I didn't know if I would, not that I didn't know if I wouldn't like it, but like Roman and Solo, not exactly two in-ring technicians here, all right? So the first early goings of the match weren't exactly overly exhilarating, but I thought for what it was fine. But once they picked up the pace and the bullshit kicked in, this was a classic, like, Bloodline Rules type match. It was called Tribal Combat. It's much better than the last Tribal Combat match that we got at SummerSlam 2023. I'll tell you that, Matt. I'll tell you that much, especially the finish. We were there for Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso, and I will never forget your reaction when Jimmy Uso got involved and cost Jey the win. This was the exact opposite, thankfully. Jimmy Uso got involved in this one as well. Thankfully, different outcome. I mean, same outcome with Roman Reigns winning, but satisfaction level was different this time. Roman Reigns did win. We got Cody Rhodes involved, Kevin Owens involved. I thought this was really well done. Crowd was into it, specifically the second half, and Roman Reigns finally puts this shit to bed, gets the Ula Fala back, acknowledged by The Rock, which again will probably plant the seed for something down the road, but for right now it means fucking nothing, especially if it's not leading anywhere anytime soon, but whatever. I thought the match was fun, so what were your thoughts on this? Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa and Tribal Combat.
I thought the match was good. I thought it was done well, and Roman won, which I thought was the right decision. Rock boost his ego, per usual, and I thought Owens coming out and Cody coming out to kind of thwart him away, and then Jimmy and Sammy kind of to negate Jacob and Tama was good as well. Mm-hmm. So I think that was done. Both those were done well to kind of continue both of those, and Roman won, which is the right decision. Like I said, Rock obviously had to get involved to smooch him and put the Ula Fala on him. Mm-hmm. Maybe it'll lead to something, maybe it won't, or maybe Rock just wants some more airtime on Netflix. But Roman won, and I had no issues there.
Yeah, no, I thought they did a nice job of finishing this story. I enjoyed the match for what it was. Rock getting more airtime, you're exactly right about that. But I think the big question is we got a lot of endings on this show. We have a lot of finality with a lot of these feuds. But then it does leave me asking the question, which I'll probably ask you a few times here, as far as most of what we saw on Monday night. What's next? What is next for Roman Reigns? Because if he's not facing The Rock in Vegas, which, I mean, they really should have done him, and they really should have done Rock and Cody already to get that shit over with, and then move on for Rock and Roman at WrestleMania, which clearly to me, it's just not happening. I already knew that, but now it's even more obvious to me, especially after what happened on Monday. It's not happening anytime soon, I'll put it that way. It'll probably happen when it's at a point where no one gives a shit, but it's not happening at WrestleMania. So instead, what do you do with Roman Reigns? We've talked about it before, but there's been a lot of discussion of Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. That's a pretty big possibility. How do you get there? I would have to imagine Roman Reigns will be in the Royal Rumble match. He made a sound, not a sound. He made a. That makes sense. Yeah, he did. He made that sound during the match. He made it known. He did say later on in the show that he would be back on January 27th, which sounded so fucking random. I'm thinking, why would he say January 27th? And then he walked into a room where they closed the door, and it was the WWE 2K25 logo. So clearly he'll either be on the cover or involved in the game in some capacity as far as announcing what's next for the game, blah, blah, blah. So it sounds like we will not see Roman on SmackDown this week. We have not seen Roman on SmackDown in months, by the way. The fucking show that he's supposed to belong to. But he probably won't be back until Raw in a few weeks, and maybe at that point he'll announce his entry into the Royal Rumble, because at the same time, remember, he has not gotten a shot at the championship that he lost a year ago, so you would think he would want it back, and in the Rumble he doesn't have to be pinned. So is that the logical direction that we're heading with Roman Reigns, you think?
It seems like it. I mean, I don't know what you really do with him in the interim. I mean, I think you put him on the Royal Rumble, maybe kick off his program there. I'm still pushing for Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Solo, so hopefully we're done with that. I think him versus Jacob would be the best. If he's not going for the title, it would be the best possible outcome right now. Maybe you have him get thrown out of the Rumble by them. Similar to just past years, you just have them just destroy Roman Reigns. Roman's gone for a little bit, comes back, kicks off the program for Mania. Doesn't need a title. I think I just think that's the best outcome right now. Him and Punk right now just doesn't really seem like it's necessary and needed right now. So I would push that out a little bit further. I think Roman and Jacob, to me, would be the best Mania match for now for Roman.
I agree. I think that's the match to do. I'm still convinced that we're getting Roman and Punk because they got so excited over the numbers that their interactions did around Survivor Series season. So they might just go to that just because they know it's going to do really well analytically and on social media. And I mean, it's a match I'm looking forward to. I just don't really feel like right now is the right time for it. We're in the midst of this Roman bloodline stuff, which is hopefully mostly over. But if we're still here at this point, you might as well just do Roman and Jacob. Not that if they don't do it this year, you can never do it. You could always do it down the road. But I do feel like that's the match for WrestleMania this year. Because the Punk one kind of feels like it's coming out of nowhere. I mean, I would have done Rock and Roman, but we're just not at that point.